Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Donald Trump is tonight looking towards the second stage of his mission to win the presidency and totally change American politics. He's completed the conquest of his party, who roared their acclaim for his nomination speech at the Republican convention in Cleveland, Ohio. It was a long one, watched by 30 million TV viewers. 75 minutes of headline-grabbing Trump. Tough on crime, tough on terrorism, tough on putting America first, and really tough on Hillary Clinton.
Our next president, Donald J. Trump.
His daughter Ivanka made the introduction. This has already been one of the most tumultuous and successful journeys in American political history. A man who's never held office, now in a position to utter these words.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
His was a dark portrait of a country, his opponent judged to be a mortal danger to the Republic.
This is the legacy of Hillary Clinton. Death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness.
And in the aftermath of the horror of Nice, he made this promise.
We are going to defeat the barbarians of ISIS, and we're going to defeat them fast. The damage and devastation that can be inflicted by Islamic radicals has been proven over and over.
A lone protester opposing the idea of Fortress America was drowned out by shouts, but still made her message known before a TV audience of tens of millions. Whether you think Trump's protectionist and isolationist message is the answer,
our plan will put America first.
or whether you think he is a fraud, Trump has triumphed because he claims to speak for the ignored and the voiceless.
I am your voice. And we will make America great again.
This was maverick, vintage, populist Trump at his best. But the question remains here. Are there still enough angry, frustrated, and fearful voters to take him all the way to the White House?
We will find out the answer over the next 3 months, but he's certainly connected here.
He brings to the table conversations that people have at home, and he brings it to the forefront and says what's on everybody's mind.
He's trying to bring people in because he speaks to the average person.
The idea of a blue-collar billionaire may seem improbable, but in this age of terrorism, he is a man projecting himself, perhaps ominously, as America's savior. Robert Moore, News at 10, Cleveland.
Well, all this week we've been examining the impact of Donald Trump's presidential campaign in our series Divided States of America. His nomination speech was delivered right in the heart of a classic swing state, which has nearly picked every winner of the White House since the 1960s. And nowhere is more typical of Ohio than Wood County. There, Julie watched Donald Trump's speech with a group of voters who'll decide which way Ohio swings.
From Toledo's news leader.
We made it to Friday and another hot day.
Wood County, Ohio, where the political temperature is soaring and the toxic flavour of the campaign is seeping onto the sidewalks. A swing county in a swing state, this is middle-class middle America, where they've picked the president for more than 4 decades. So at Jed's Barbecue and Brew Bar in Perrysburg, how would Trump's speech go down? We spent the evening with some of its customers. Tyler Grieder, a Democrat and Bernie Sanders supporter.
This is the most divisive time in recent history. Half the Democratic Party doesn't like the Democratic Party and half the Republican Party doesn't like the Republican Party. Everything is up in the air right now. And
We must immediately suspend immigration.
First flare-up of the night, Trump on immigration and terrorism.
You can't fault an entire society or an entire group of people for the decisions of the minorities. And that's exactly what he's doing with what he just said.
With an Iranian Muslim father, Haraz Ganbari, a Republican and military vet, struggles with some of Trump's values.
My dad's an immigrant to this country, and so you look around at her family, and maybe your family's your immigrants.
But they all did it and went through the steps and became American citizens.
From Trump fan Dr. Susan Gross, big approval for his embrace of the LGBTQ community.
We need someone to say, that's not our issue, that's a personal issue. The government should be taking care of national security, the big stuff.
And then it was time for the wall. Susan's husband, Dr. Thomas Gross.
So America's a country that builds walls now, is it?
I have no problem with that. I have no absolute problem with protecting Americans. Do you?
God bless you and good night.
You're hired.
A rousing end to Trump's big speech, so what did they make of it? Especially Chris Blade, a first-time undecided voter. Do you want him to be your voice?
I'm honestly not very sure at this point. I'm still very undecided. I'd like to see what Hillary has to say. I'm not a big supporter of her, but I'd still like to see what she has on her mind.
Yeah. So he's done, how would you say, give him a mark out of 10?
He's done a 6 or 7 out of 10 for me.
He was really interesting to listen to. He was very humble.
Honestly, I wish he would have given more solutions to things like we mentioned earlier. He did tell us what he's going to do, but he didn't exactly tell us how he's going to do it.
Debates like this in Perrysburg and across this swing state show there is still everything to play for in a race which is dividing America. This time next week, it'll be Hillary Clinton's turn to set out her stall. Julie Etchingham, News at 10, Ohio.
I've been getting away with it all.